Okay, Taurus, here with your November bonus reading, Venus, Love, and Money. So why the bonus reading for Taurus? It's kind of a combination of things. Taurus has been good to me with my new channel, and also it's based on randomness. This morning I had this idea to close my eyes and go to the bookshelf and just pick out something. So I went over, knelt down, picked out a book. Funny thing happened. I picked one I was looking at last week called Myths of Greece and Rome by Thomas Bulfinch, and it was bookmarked with Venus. Venus and Taurus have a close relationship, and I thought I'd go with that. So we'll try to pull different threads together based on that idea. We'll do a love reading, probably pull a RUMI card at the end. There's 3 cards that were picked randomly in the front here. And read you something from the book I picked out. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. See if I can show it to you. This is the cover. Cool Roman soldier, I think. I don't know. Joseph Campbell, introduction. Wow. Cool. So a lot of us who are into tarot, we hear about mythology all the time and the planets. But I wonder how many of us really know the full story behind some of these things, like Venus. Venus and Adonis were lovers. Venus was playing one day with her boy Cupid and got wounded in her breast with one of his arrows. You know, that arrow, Cupid's arrow, is like a love potion. Before it could heal, she saw Adonis. He was a great hunter, and I'm pretty sure she saw him in the woods. She started abandoning the things she used to do, basically lying around, you know, doing her makeup and just relaxing, you know, near some rivers or whatever. She was pretty much into herself and partying, right? Once she fell in love with Adonis, she would go with him on hunting expeditions so she could be closer to him. She basically, and this is something I want to talk about too, is warnings. She warned Adonis to be careful of dangerous animals. Be brave towards the timid, she said. Courage against the courageous is not safe. Beware how you expose yourself to danger and put my happiness to risk. So she was worried that his hunting would get him killed. Well, wouldn't you know, on her way back to the heavens, he was attacked by a wild boar. She could feel it and headed directly back and found him wounded, lying on the ground, bleeding to death. She couldn't save him. Of course, this hurt her very badly. So then the story is about a hyacinth and roses, how they grew up where he had died every year from that time on. So here's a little poem by Milton. Isn't Milton cool? He's one of those people who only needs one name. Everybody knows who Milton is, the poet. Beds of hyacinth and roses, where young Adonis oft reposes, waxing well of his deep wound, in slumber soft and on the ground, sadly sits the Assyrian queen. Alright, so that's a little quick story about Venus. Alright. Time to get your dice going here and pick your pieces. We'll roll them and I'll go pick out the associated numbers from the collection. Let's roll. We have 72 in reverse. I say in reverse because this square dice here, it has a 1, that means it's in reverse. Odd numbers are reverse, even numbers are upright. Oh, did you notice the piece I picked out to keep us company? 4 wands. Oh, we got upright, good. This 0 always comes out. I could tell because I had to block out the 8. So we got an 8 upright. Yeah, the piece I picked out here, the 4 wands. It's Venus. A lot of people call it the 1111 twin flame card. See, I can't help myself. It's a twin flame piece in my case. All about love, divine connection really. Fire sign, but like I said, it's Venus. So I thought it'd be appropriate today. We need 3 more. What does Taurus need to know? What kind of messages can we get for Taurus? Another 4. That's upright. That's 10, 18, upright. That's good. 2 uprights, not bad start. 2 out of 3. Let's see if we can get something besides that 4 to come out though. Would be nice. I'm going to use 2 hands. Oh, we got a 2 this time. What's that say? We got the 00, 9, upright. Oh, very good. We got a 9 and an 8 upright. Interesting. Who knows, maybe these numbers mean something to you. Your address or somebody else's address or phone number, I don't know. Who knows? Alright, this is your last piece. We got 2. This is amazing. 35 upright. That's the most upright maybe I've ever had. 35 upright because it's a 4. Even number. Okay, I'm going to go get your pieces, be back, clear this, and we'll set up and do your reading. Okay, Taurus, we're back with your pieces. Take a little while and just look over what you see in front of you. Come up with your own story. Might be hard to tell which pieces these are. Well, the center piece is a pretty good giveaway if you've been around tarot for a while with the number XX20. That's Judgment. Maybe the Majorette. I encourage you to pause this video for a little while and come up with your own scenario here. I'm going to go over them real quick for you. Each piece does relate to a tarot card directly. I haven't done this before, but I actually tied this to a tarot spread on relationships, a 5-card tarot spread. I usually just kind of wing it or just go with my intuition based on the pieces. It's a little more systematic. See how it works out. First piece, bottom left, with the R, which stands for reverse. It's the only reversal here. That's the 5 of Cups. It's water, Scorpio, Mars. Second piece we talked about is Judgment, Pluto. Third piece, the Majorette, is the 2 of Wands. In the back on the left is the 9 of Cups. Because when you have a spaceship, you have everything. Wish fulfillment. And then the last piece in the back on the right, the oysters, is the 4 of Coins, Pentacles. And that's about wealth, money, foundations. So how does this relate to what I've already talked about with Venus and the 5-card spread I'm using? The first piece, that worm-like creature with a candle on its back, 5 of Cups, that position is about the nature of what's going on here, like the theme, the overall theme. We have it in reverse, so it is on the darker side. It's really about being unable to move forward. Something happened, something pretty heavy. 5s are all heavy. And making time for grieving. Since it's a love reading, it could be grieving over a breakup. I used the black candle there as a symbol of protection. And my overall theme for this reading is warnings. Venus tried to warn Adonis, but he didn't listen. The second piece, Judgment, the only major arcana we have, holds a lot of energy. I always look at it, the first piece and the major arcanas hold a lot of energy. So Judgment, it's almost at the end of the tarot. It's 20. 21 is the last piece, last card. It's about transformation, and that can mean pulling out of an uncontrollable situation. Maybe you, your person, or both of you are holding back from letting go of something you know should be let go. That's one interpretation. Of course, all these pieces have other meanings. I also encourage you to look them up. But this was about, as far as the 5-card spread for relationships, this one's intellectual companionship. And that's how I came to the meaning I came to. Third piece, the Two of Wands, Aries, Mars. Twos are about choices. This placement is about emotional compatibility. So maybe the choice has already been made emotionally and taking the next steps forward. Two of Wands is about kind of have goals and you're starting to move on them. The Ace is the spark of an idea, and then the twos are starting to act on those, especially with Wands. Wands are very active, fast, the fastest energy in tarot. Could be about new opportunities in love or otherwise. It's also about taking risks. I guess throwing batons in the air and trying to catch them is in front of a lot of people is definitely taking risks, right? My mother was a majorette. The Nine of Cups in the back, that's the likely progression placement. And that's about wish fulfillment. Almost there. About good luck. We have Jupiter. That's related to good luck. It's having everything but that 10th cup. Sometimes the 10th cup is love. We do have a lot of cups here, and cups relate to love. We have the reverse, that's love, and then we have this 9 of cups, which is love, which is progression. 5 to a 9 is a lot of progression. We actually have a 2, a 5, a 9, we have a 4. So it seems like progression. Might not be the kind of progression you want it to go through, you or your person, especially if it is a breakup. But even with a breakup, the likely progression is, you know you're going to break up. You start planning in your head. You might even dream, which is a good idea. How are you going to make things better in your future? The place you live, the kind of person you want to be with, maybe your family, where you want to live, everything. So the Nine of Cups is making a lot of progress. You're moving in that direction. The Four of Coins, the last piece, is also about building a strong foundation. Now that's the slower energy. That's the Four of Coins. Coins or Pentacles, the slowest energy in tarot. This might mean that, if you're an adult, you already have a lot of things, and it's more like rebuilding. Might even change your job, looking for a new home or starting a business. Might have a new family. Could be moving on to somebody that has a family, and you're going to blend families. There's so many ways this can go. And all these things we're talking about, you know better than anybody. And these are all just little, I don't know, they're like breadcrumbs. And you get all these breadcrumbs together and then you can make something out of them, or building blocks, or little messages, signals. And you put them together with other things that are happening in your life and might help to answer some questions or solidify things you're already thinking. Yeah, confirmation. Confirmation is a big deal, I think, with tarot. If I were to summarize, I would say something heavy happened and we're grieving over it. It's the early stage, taking the right time, and that's taking the time to grieve, and that's the right thing to do. It's in the best way, normal step. Could be you, could be your other person, could be both of you. Could be grieving about something else in life, something pretty heavy happened and you're taking that time, you need that time. But intellectually, you and your person know what's best. And it seems like something about pulling out of a situation here. That's what the pieces say. Could go back and forth, because that's another thing. Pulling back, forth, that's normal. That's how we humans go through grief or making decisions. And the Two of Wands, speaks about moving forward, making choices. Choices are made, maybe. And we're starting to act on them. Wands are action. And Judgment, again, is about transformation. So both of those things are about moving forward, doing, making choices, doing things, acting. So I'd like to go back real quick to this Venus and Adonis thing. Because the other thing about these messages, they might not all resonate. You might only have a little piece here, a little piece here. They can act as confirmations, or they can act as warnings. I always take warnings very seriously. I never used to pay attention as much as I do now. But I actually think we're very, very lucky to get warnings. I think we probably always do, but we don't notice them because we don't pay attention. So Venus was telling Adonis, I don't want you to go after the prey that's dangerous. Don't go after the wild boars and the bear or any of the animals that could kill you. If you want to go hunting, go for the rabbits and maybe deer or something like that. And that was a pretty good warning. She was a goddess. She wasn't your average person. And she loved him and she didn't want him to be hurt. Well, he didn't listen. ended up being killed by an animal. It's like judgment, this judgment piece here. You go through these things, there's usually something good coming after it. That also has to do with the 9 of coins here. And that's where the hyacinths and the roses grow up where he died, where Adonis died, every year. It's like the wheel in the tarot. So a cycle seems to have run its course, or maybe it's a warning that something is running its course. You might know it, you might feel it. Some of these pieces allude to that. Anyway, it's pretty heavy stuff. I had no idea, of course I have no idea what's going to come out. And I have no idea what these 3 cards are here. Guess we should take a look, see if they relate somehow. I'll put the camera down a little and flip them over. Move the light a little. Okay, let's see what this is. Guess what? It's the wheel. Oh, I'm sorry, it's the world, right? Yeah, 21's the world. That is the last piece, the world. It's upright, major arcana. Wish I could do something with that light, but I can't, sorry. Oh, I'll show it to you though. It's the Mystic Tarot deck. Very traditional. Sea lion there for strength and the angel. So the world's definitely about completion, culmination. When you get to that point, you've gained a lot of wisdom because you've been through so much. Kind of realizing your place in the universe. It's a great place to be. It's a great energy. Let's see what we have in the center here. Queen of Swords in reverse. Tough energy. Queen of Swords. Air sign. She, in reverse, she's a very unpleasant person, to put it nicely. She's cutting with her words. Even in upright, she's known to be pretty harsh. But in reverse, it could be about bitterness and jealousy. Lack of emotion. She is known to be very cold. She might not even speak her mind. Like in reverse, normally in upright, it's all about communication. But in reverse, it's the opposite. She might be holding back, using the silent treatment. And that could even come from a lot of places. That could come from her not being confident. Definitely a person who has a problem. Yeah, very difficult. You would know who that is. Okay, the last piece is, what's this here? Another mate? No, that's the King of Cups. That's a good piece to end on. Yeah, the King of Cups is all about love. He's a king, so he's been around. People come to him for advice. He could even be a therapist, psychologist. Very emotional because it's cups, but also spiritual. It can be all about helping other people, or it could be sometimes he needs a little help. It could be about emotional wounds. We learn through these pains that we go through. He's a king. He's learned a lot, and he's still learning as well. But he's strong enough that he can rise above it. I'd say he's a very mature individual, especially when it comes to relationships. So that's a great piece to end. When I say end though, you know what? I think I'll do one more thing here. Since this is about love, maybe we can get some advice or something from the RUMI Oracle. This is the book from the RUMI Oracle. A little tight here, so it's hard for me to move this around. RUMI Oracle Guidebook. So we pull the card and then we read out of the guidebook. I'll shuffle a couple times, but I do shuffle ahead of time. Yeah, we ended up with more cups. It's a love reading. A lot of cups makes sense. There is or love here. There is or was love here. One more shuffle. See what's happens when we split the deck. Dance of the Divine Feminine and Victory of Miriam. See if they come up when I get the popper. Okay, let's see what we get. What does Taurus need to know? What messages can we give Taurus? Any advice for Taurus? Okay. We have, she offers the sacred wine, so drink! Exclamation point. Let's see if I can get this in here. That's pretty good. Just barely, right? Notice the number 32. Could mean something to you. You have the number in your, like I said, your address, your phone number, who knows, you know, it could be a lot of things, or maybe you see it a lot recently. Keep your eyes open. Okay, we're going to read out of the book real quick. Yeah, you could probably get half of it. And here's the other half. It's pretty long, so probably just read that and leave it at that. A wine giver of enlightened hearts. O wine giver of enlightened hearts, offer me the wine of your kindness, for this is the reason you have brought me here from the desert of oblivion. O beautiful wine giver, pour me the wine that gives me insight. Offer me the wine from the sea of love and fill my heart with pearls. We have pearls here in the back. Pour it into my heart until I shred the veil and go beyond reason. My spirit is consumed by judgment. We have the judgment card. And my life is reduced by thoughts. Pour the precious wine over the frozen cries of skeptics until their words become warm and their nays become yays. RUMI. Let me just read over the second. See how it goes with what we talked about. Asking, basically, somebody's asking for help. That's great. I think we talked about that. Yeah, with the King of Cups. And someone's giving help. The wine giver. The person's asking to pour wine that gives them insight. Offer me the wine from the sea of love and fill my heart with pearls. They know that their heart, if it's filled with love, that can be the solution, the elixir. And to shred the veil and go beyond reason. So to use spirit and not just reason, that sometimes it gets stuck in our head, and you know, they call that head over heart decisions, and reason is okay, but you need your heart involved, especially in decisions of love. My spirit is consumed by judgment, the judgment card, and my life is reduced by thoughts. Again, too much in the head, thinking too much. Pour the precious wine over the frozen cries of skeptics. If there's other people involved, I guess, skeptics, people don't agree with your choices. Friends, family, advisors, I don't know, could be neighbors, anybody, friends. That this wine, the special wine they're talking about here, will turn their nays into yays. It's time to go have a couple drinks and with your neighbors, whoever these naysayers are, and maybe after talk they'll come to understand your position. Okay, this is a great book to get, RUMI Oracle by Alana Fairchild. Okay, that's your reading. Thanks for coming, Taurus. Come back again, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Love y'all.